am the one who knocks. And I expect you to open your door. So I can show you what's inside the January 2021 Bass Baits Monthly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to No Redemption Outdoors. Thank you for coming by today on this very special Breaking Bad edition. Yes, I am a Breaking Bad fan. I fancy myself a bit of a Walter White. You know, I go against the grain. I am, after all, irredeemable. So, it's all good, man. Check it out. I got the Walter White action figure here, and I got the Jesse Pinkman. And still in the packages. Because after all, I am a nerd. Although I will ask you one question. Is it possible that when you're talking about Breaking Bad that you could be considered a nerd if you are a fanboy? Or if you have the action figures? I don't know. Do you really want to call me one to my face?
Say my name.
Alright guys, we're not here for that. We're here to talk about Bass Baits Monthly. This is the January 2021 edition. We've gotten this box a couple times before. First time we got it, I'll put a link up above, we were blown away. I mean, literally, I did not expect what was in that box. And then the second time we got it, it was still pretty good, but probably not as good as that first one. But today we're going to find out if 3 times is the charm. I did go inside the box. I looked up all the baits. I got did a bit of research on each one. I took down a few notes that I'm going to use to kind of guide us through the box opening. So hopefully this will be a bit of a informational video as well as an unboxing. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to open up the box here and give you the first view. And right on the top is the sticker, the obligatory Bass Baits Monthly sticker. Alright. This is the same sticker I've gotten previously. I would encourage Bass Baits Monthly, if you're listening, throw in a few of those funky stickers that we see in some of the other boxes. Those are really fun. And, as silly as it may seem, those stickers, I always look forward to them. So, I don't know about you guys, but Bass Baits Monthly, throw in a few of those really funky ones. It makes it more interesting. Alright, next thing up is the, they throw in a card every month that shows you how to tie different knots. This month it's the San Diego Jam knot. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up on my pegboard up there. I've got a couple others up there already. And then on the back is a bit of information about their social media. There's a promo code. Alright, feel free to use that. Alright, the first bait we're going to look at here is the SPRO John Cruz Little John MD50. Now this is Old Glory is the color on this. Let's go ahead and get it opened up. This will dive 7 to 9 feet. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go. Give you a good look at that. Hopefully you can see that. Nice looking bait. I like the colors. Very, very cool. This has Gamakatsu hooks, number 5, and they are in fact sticky and sharp. This has the same soft tungsten transfer system that the original Little John has, meaning it's fairly, it does have a little bit of a thud, but not much. But that weight transfer when you're casting gives you that extra distance. So you got the benefit of the knockers in there that provide that weight transfer, but at the same time it's pretty quiet as you retrieve it. I watched a video with John Cruz, the designer of this, and he talked about how this is a very, very effective bait in structure, but in particular brush. He actually designed this specifically for using in brush. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So this is going for $10.99. That is the SPRO Little John MD50. $10.99. Alright. Alright, the next item is the Mustad Big Eye Bucktail Jig. And just as the name implies, it's got a very large 3D eye there. This is a 3/4 ounce. Color on this is white. Let's go ahead and get it out. Now this actually is built on the Mustad Ultra Point 2X extra heavy hook. So this, oh man, yeah, that's a stout hook. Let me give you a good look at that here. Hopefully you can see that. This is made with actual deer fur and what they call crystal flash. It's mixed into it. This hand tied, by the way. Great for basically summer and winter use. So it's kind of a versatile all year round. From the research that I did, the best way to use this is to cast it out past your target and let it drop. And you know, it is quite heavy. And then give strong jerks back and then let it drop, and jerk it and let it drop. And that seems to be the preferred and recommended way to use this. Also, I want to point out there are 2 line ties on here. So if you want to jig this vertically, you could tie it to the top. Or if you want to cast it out and use it the way I just described, you could tie it onto the nose there. All right. So this is the Mustad Big Eye Bucktail jig, going for $3.99. All right, next up, Keitech. Tried and true, venerable Keitech. This is the Swing Impact Fat Keitech. And just as the name implies, this is modeled after the original Keitech, but the body of it is a bit thicker and bigger. Let's go ahead and get one open. This is a 4.3 inch. And the thing, you know, first, there's a few notable things about Keitechs. First off, the plastic is extremely soft. And as a consequence, this has phenomenal action. Then to kind of bolster that, check out the construction here. The tail is attached by this very, very fine, very thin piece of rubber or plastic. And that is very pliable, and as a consequence, that has a real extreme action in the water. And that's something that Keitechs are known for. All right, so the best way to use these is, actually you can rig these up any number of ways. Again, you can rig this up on a swim jig, or on a belly hook, belly weighted hook, or maybe a mushroom head and have it kind of look like they're feeding. Keitech themselves recommends using this on a 3/8 or 1/2 ounce football head jig, and just kind of bounce that along the bottom, especially on rocks. And you know, that's kind of where football head jigs shine, is on structure and rocks and such, where you can just kind of drag along the bottom. And that's the way the Keitech recommends using this. But look, this is a very versatile bait, and you can use this any number of ways. All right, so this Swing Impact Fat Keitech is 4.3 inches, going for $6.99. And a little bit of smell on there too. All right, next item, let me flip my page here, is the Reaction Strike XRM 80 MD. Now again, from my research, this is, by the way, Ghost Thread and Shad is the color. Let me open it up. But from my research, I found that this was, again, modeled after another bait. This was modeled after the XRM 80, which has a smaller bill but similar profile. This is obviously a mid diver. Let me get a little close up for you. Let me get some light on up here. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. Couldn't turn that on a while ago. But give you a good look at that. And again, this has the knockers, the weight transfer for, you know, great casting. And the nice thing about jerk baits is that you can cover a lot of area quickly. These things are phenomenal in clear water. Any sort of jerk bait. Whenever there's clear water, and around here we have very clear lakes, jerk bait's one of the go-to baits for that kind of condition. Oh, katana hooks. chemically sharpened. Yes, they are sticky. And what else? Oh, and one of the videos I saw about this is that it is perfectly buoyant, so that as you are retrieving it, as you're trying to get down in the water column and you're pulling it back and it dives to where you want it to be, if you stop, it'll just suspend right there. So, okay, I'm caught. There we go. So that is the Reaction Strike XRM80MD, and that's going for $8.99. All right, next up, oh, here we go. Owner Flashy Swimmer. This is 5/0 size, and as the name implies, this is Owner hooks, very, very high quality hooks. And from my research, I found that when you rig this up correctly, this is very, very weedless. Let's go ahead and get one out. Let's see. This is a 1/4 ounce underspin, obviously. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Like I mentioned, this is an Owner hook. Now, what makes this very unique, and Owner, I think, has a patent, is what they call this center pin spring keeper. And hopefully you can see that. But as the name implies, there is a pin through the center. And so what they explain is, as you're putting your soft plastic and you screw it on there, this center pin will keep that perfectly centered, so that when you rig it up, first off, it's very consistently and very centered in its rigging. That pin is supposed to promote that. And then as a consequence, this will swim very true through the water. Now, another thing I found out is this works quite well in shallow water. Shallow with swim baits, burning it through shallow water is an effective way to use this. However, like any underspin, there are all number of ways you can use it. And as I'm actually thinking about it, I'm wondering to myself how this would be paired up with this Keitech. I think that would be a great pairing. So there's just another way you could use this. All right. So that's the Owner Flashy Swimmer 5/0, 1/4 ounce. That's $4.99 for a package of 2. All right. All right. Next up is the Bass Patrol jig. Now, I'm not real familiar with Bass Patrol. I may have another bait from them. I'm not sure. However, this is made with a Mustad 2X strong ultra point hook. This one happens to be black nickel. The color on this jig is, say it with me, green pumpkin. Let's go ahead and open her up. Now, what I have learned from my research is, oh, this thing is attached in there with another staple right through the plastic. There we go. We got her. Wow, that really flares out just holding it. Let me get you a close-up look at it here. All right, nice looking jig. This has a recessed hand-tied silicone skirt. So what that's supposed to do is prevent, nicking of your line. The way they recommend using this is drag it along the bottom. You can rig this up with a craw or creature bait. I think probably what I would do is maybe a grub. I actually have one here. Let me show you. Now, this is not the right color, but I might put like a Fat Albert twin tail grub on this. I'd probably put a different color, but something like that. But this is, again, quite a versatile bait, quite a versatile jig. And, being that it's football head, just as I was talking about earlier, these things really shine when you drag them across the bottom, especially on rocks. Okay. So this is the Bass Patrol hand-tied silicone skirted jig, $2.99. Nice little jig. Seems to be well made. Even when I look at the, the eye hole here, it's not, it's not covered over with paint. Those little things matter, right? All right. Last but never least is the Bill Lewis original rattle trap. Now this thing is venerable, tried and true. I imagine just about every angler has one of these or more of them. I have several. However, one of the things I found out is they just released a number of new paint schemes. And I tend to believe this is one of them because I was not able to find it on Tackle Warehouse. I could find the bait, just not this particular color scheme. This happens to be, by the way, what they call Blue Shiner. Let me give you a good close-up look at it. And very cool. Look at the, on the bottom, you got a little spot of orange. But, you know, what can I say about rattle trap? This thing is about as versatile a bait as there is. Now, obviously, this is meant to mimic wounded bait fish. And so the way that you fish it often is very erratic retrieve, maybe a yo-yo kind of thing. Stop and go kind of retrieve. However, you can slow roll this, you can burn this. I mean, again, it's a very versatile bait. It'll work either way. So if I have a, let's say, a new angler on the boat, I might tie on a rattle trap because this will allow them to use a variety of different let's just say casting and retrieval techniques that where this will actually work. So, you know, I think most people have very high regard for the rattle trap. This obviously very, very good in the spring, especially when the bass are real inactive. All right. So that's the original Bill Lewis rattle trap. Oop, 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 sharp hooks. And that's going for $6.99. All right, that's everything in the box, guys. Now it's time to do our wrap-up. So, as you know, we do a little value analysis on each of our boxes. So we're going to run through it real quick. Just summarizing. Again, the SPRO went for $10.99. The Mustad Big Eye Bucktail, $3.99. The Swim Impact Fat Keitech, $8.99. The Owner Flashy Swimmer, $4.99. Bass Patrol Jig, $2.99. The Rattle Trap, $6.49 for a total of $45.43. Total collected value in this box based on my research and what I can buy these baits for on the internet. The cost of this box is $35. This does not include shipping. So the value added here is $10.43. And based on the $35 purchase price, that means that there is a 29.8% return on investment. Really what that means is for your $35, you're getting back an extra $10.43 of value, which is in effect kind of like an investment. So that return is almost 30%. Now, those of you who have been watching for a while know that our monthly boxes tend to be somewhat higher in terms of that ROI. In fact, I regard in the 40s to be kind of on the low side, but we've had some boxes go up into the 80s and 90% range in that ROI. So this isn't as impressive in that respect, but again, now we have to introduce some subjective considerations. So I want you to think about a couple things, and this is kind of what I do to kind of balance out this analysis. On a numbers basis, it's not that sexy, it's not bad, just not sexy. However, I want you to consider that every bait in this box is tried, true, proven. They will go in my tackle box and they will get used. I have some boxes where I get these, you know, large number of baits, great return on investment, but a few of the baits are, maybe I haven't heard of them, maybe I'll never use them, maybe they're experimental to me anyway. Those kind of things, you know, in the end, if you don't use all the baits that are in the box anyway, or if you end up giving them away or throwing them in the bottom of the drawer, what is that return really worth? I would tell you that I would much rather have a 30% return on baits in a box, and there are 7 in this, where each and every one of them is tried, true, proven, effective, name brand. That is valuable. This kind of box I would give as a gift to anybody, even a seasoned angler. So that says something about the contents. So we're going to keep getting this box. I like them. I like this company. I want to tell you something else. There are 3 companies that actually bother to interact with their customers in my experience. Bass Baits Monthly is one of those. The other is Simple Fishing and Monster Bass. Those three companies reach out and interact with their customers. And I want you to know Bass Baits Monthly has been very kind to me. They've said very nice things to me on Instagram. And so I appreciate that, guys. Thank you to Bass Baits Monthly for that. And that means you're listening. So I imagine you're hearing what I'm saying right now, and you may or may not agree with my analysis, but at least you know what, some of us out here are thinking, and then hopefully this will be valuable input for you. And all that being said, guys, I want to know what you think. Drop down below. Tell me, first off, what do you think about these baits? Secondly, what do you think about my analysis, both the financial or monetary aspects of it, but also that subjective part that I'm talking about? Tell me what your thoughts are. All right, well, with that, I won't drag this out any further. I will invite you to drop down below. If you like what we're doing, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Make sure you come back every Saturday morning, by the way, because we have a giant duffel bag filled with baits, and I reach in every week, draw one out, and give it away. So for those of you who are new, make sure you check that out. With that, guys, I'm going to say, until we meet again, take care.
Jag är somalier och jag rappar mina rätter ej 15 000 det är bara mina fetter ej Jag är somali, rappar Mali